Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2022 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. We're here for the back nine at the Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course. We've been seeing some sweet action on the front. It's myself, Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, alongside Nate Perkins. And Nate, man, just one miss by this guy on the front, Paul McBeth.
Yeah, just one miss, Terry, and it wasn't hole 9 this time. It was hole 7 from inside the circle. Let's see what this card has for us on the back nine. It's pretty much dead calm at this point in the round.
Been blessed with a couple of really nice days out here in Fountain Hills, and oh no, that's deep for Gibson.
And that was a buzz from Drew.
Man, you got to put some serious heat on it to go deep on this hole. That's not most people's problem.
Yeah, especially with a mid, you don't see people go long.
Hole 10 sets up great for this long turnover. Good shot there by Cale. Fights to inside the circle, slightly downhill from, 25 feet. I'm not going to call this hole a bonus, but if you said to someone, hey, you're going to miss one on the back, this one is often missed.
Bit of a misfire on that jump putt. And Cale has been a bit undercommitted from this distance. Let's see if he makes the correction.
That's a good-looking putt for Leiviska to kick off the back nine. Certainly behind when it comes to the pace here. He's sitting at 2 under. See, of course, McBeth had the 8 under on the front nine, but I feel like 5, 6, 7, you need to be in that 4, 5, 6 range at least if you're looking for a good round out here. Double digits, quite common, you'd say?
Oh, definitely. If you're not double digits, you're not in it.
Yeah, and by this time, this was the last group to go off for the day. There were a couple of people that had come in with 11s. So
Yep.
The pace had been set very early on in the day. 11 under seemed to be a pretty good, consistent number as we see our title sponsor in Discraft there. We head over to hole number 11.
368. Paul actually going heat? No. Excuse me, that's Ulibarri. Paul going Zeus.
Going deep is what he is. That's just outside the circle.
Cale going FX3 here.
Yeah, why wouldn't it hit that?
Oh, and the tree out on the right-hand side. I think just kind of putting the stamp on it that it's not necessarily been his round.
This makes a lot more sense, Terry. Here's the heat from Ulibarri. And look at that, curling around the pin. What a shot.
Incredible. I've seen a lot of different routes taken here, and that is one of the least common ways. Clearly effective, but not common at all.
And Drew going buzz on this 368-foot hole. Look at that late drift.
Have you ever seen two trees give people so much trouble, though? Just two specific trees?
These trees are iconic. I mean, depending on... You can have the hardest putt you've ever attempted from 20 feet.
Exactly. But McBeth has an open lane and cashes it in. The roller pays off. I'm sure some gentle ribbing from Drew with regards to that.
About Paul's shot selection.
Not too bad. 3 under out of 4 on that one as we take a look at hole 12. Wow, short enough for the standstill, and this isn't that common of a throw.
No, it
Or
really-
at least the stance, I should say.
Yeah, I'm with you, Terry. Yeah, Paul going
Probably some kind of putter. I've often seen him go with a putter there. And Drew, just a completely different approach. Rather than going low line drive, he goes high with the spiking hyzer that checks up right next to the pin.
Yeah, that same scepter there, and McBeth threw a buzz actually with that standstill. Uli going Raptor.
A few less elevated pins this year. Normally 12, 13, those have often been elevated, but we're not seeing that this year. Does that impact either how you play or what you're doing out here?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the elevated pins are one of the factors here at the Memorial. And I mean, you know, usually the Disc Golf Pro Tour has been out here, you know, putting the trusses out, and it definitely changes the way the putt comes in. I mean, it makes it difficult, and you'll see a lot more 3 putts when the basket's 5 feet in the air like that.
Cale first with the birdie. Here's Uli. He also cashes it in. Big shout out. Paul's mom celebrated a birthday in the last couple days. We often see her out here. She's in heaven. She gets to see both Pete and Paul compete this weekend.
Aww.
So she comes into town and takes in the action. I don't know how many accountants are watching, so we won't mention just the rake in which Ulibarri took home from Vegas. I think it's fair to say he had a pretty good weekend in Las Vegas last weekend. You want free shipping? DG Guy as the code for Resistance Discs. That'll get you some. Here's McBeth.
Oh, come on!
Somebody's calling for the ace.
Going Captain's Raptor again, and here's Drew again with the scepter. Needs a skip.
Little light. You know, in the last couple of years, we've seen this hole get, I was going to say get a lot easier. There used to be a branch that was hanging down kind of right where you'd want to throw it. Essentially right where Cale was.
What a big change, you're right.
Having that removed just makes this a stock hyzer all day long. A hole you certainly are walking up and expecting to get the birdie on. Here's Gibson for 2. Eight down through 13, certainly respectable, on a good pace.
Good looking stroke right there from Paul.
And it's really tough to not just kind of sit back and enjoy the backdrop, you know, for a lot of these upcoming holes. The mountains back there. Sun starting to set. It's late afternoon here on a Thursday.
It really is one of the more unique settings for a disc golf course, and you and I were just discussing like how iconic of a place this is. I mean, we used to watch the McFly So High videos with absolutely no commentary, and you've been coming here for years and filming, Terry.
Yeah, my first time ever here was 2005, and that was to put in a bid to host the 2007 AM Worlds.
Wow.
So I've been out here every year since, except for 1 year. And McBeth trying to find the access code there to this protected basket.
That was an onyx from Paul. Drew going scepter again. Just leaning on the stability of this disc.
Every throw. It seems like he's thrown it quite a bit. That's slipping down. That'll check up just in front of the OB sidewalk. And actually, that's a good spot to be, putting slightly uphill. Trying to take that tree out of play. Paul's going to hang it out wide to the right. It's all about where it hits the hillside here and skips.
Tricky little putt from right there. Cale going Falcor. Beautiful shot. You don't see too many people jump putt with their feet close together like that. But he's definitely getting pretty good at that jump putt. I mean, take us back to the Pro Tour
last
finale.
October.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness!
incredible, right?
I think he set a new record for distance
Combined
on the
putts.
putting green. Yeah,
it's like 4,000 feet of putting or something like that.
it was incredible.
And a little trickery there by Uli. Great putt for the birdie.
And Paul's still perfect on the back.
Yeah, and to put it into perspective, there's been a number of times where I've seen players go into the back nine and then shoot an 18 on the back, 18 total strokes, picking up birdies all the way out. The likes of Ken Climo, Josh Anthon, Steve Rico, Paul McBeth. I've seen so many different players do that throughout the year. So they're there for the taking.
And it's dead calm right now too, Terry. But even Paul has touched on this in the past, that kind of each birdie becomes increasingly more difficult when you're playing for perfection. You know, like he's already missed one, but the opportunity is still there for him to toss one in and get that perfect round. I mean, he's already done it twice in his career.
And, you know, he's famously, as Uli puts that right on the circle, he's famously shot 17 under here at this course, you know, only missing hole 9. So he knows what it takes, that's for sure.
And I believe that's still his highest rated round all time, or maybe one of the highest rated rounds of all time.
Was it an 1132, I think?
Something crazy.
I can't remember them all. Gibson throwing a mini. No, wait.
He's going destroyer here.
Oh, okay.
It's impressive to go all hyzer on 426. Cale going to try and spin this one in. Oh!
Yes!
Wow! Run it back, please.
What a putt by Cale Leiviska. You gotta love that. That'll get things going. He's starting to pick things up. He's now at 6 under. Frustration there for Uli. Here's Gibson. Did you find yourself battling the sun, you know, as it's finally starting, trying to start to set? Wow, if I could spit that one out.
The sun's real here.
Pro move by Gibson there, and that's great for anyone at home. You know, a lot of players can deal with some distraction. They're just not looking for anything right before they throw. You know, just make sure that you stand still or that you hold your spot for a moment, whatever the case might be. They'll be able to settle up and take care of it.
What's up, Plastic Addicts? This is Johnny here. I'm the owner of Plastic Addicts Disc Golf Supplies, the largest vendor in the state of Illinois, over 10,000 items in stock, available both in the store and on our website. We're offering a code for a discount for everyone watching the Memorial coverage. It's Memorial 10. Get you 10% off anything on the website, and we always offer free shipping on any orders of $70 or more. So check us out at plasticaddicts.net.
Shout out to Johnny over there in Central Illinois. He also uses another product you guys are familiar with, my disc in a box. Make sure your discs get to you safely. You can pick those up from me anytime.
Captain's Raptor here from Paul. Everyone seems to be loving that disc. The cap wrap.
Yeah, Well, it feels like both the Pauls here have it certainly dialed in. A couple cool releases here by Discraft to kick off the Memorial. That's kind of become a staple as well, as people come to the tournament, and there's always something fresh or new that gets released at the beginning of the week, and this year no different. I know a lot of people shopping over there at Spinners on the Green. Huge supporter, and of course your host of the event this year.
Drew with the scepter again. Chain height for sure. You know, Terry, for years I've seen people, younger kids kind of mimicking, the Paul McBeth form, and I'm wondering if Drew Gibson's form is going to be one of those that we start to see more often, kind of that slower, more methodical run up, rather than, Paul kind of has a lot more pace on the tee pad than Drew does.
All right, the other player gallery and everyone else up there on 17 taking it in. And Paul McBeth has picked up 15 birdies in 16 holes and just making it look like a walk in the park.
And he's just got the tiniest changes in his putt. If you weren't looking close enough, you might miss it, but where he's coming down to is just a little bit different than last season's putt.
There's 2 holes left to play. We'll see if he can maybe pick up an ace here or something.
Zeus here. Didn't quite give it the angle he wanted, but it checks up nice. He's going to be circle's edge. And this is probably the hardest one here on the back, at least in terms of distance.
Yeah, it's I believe the longest hole on the course outside of the par 4s. Of course, doesn't play quite 468, but again, there's just a couple of trees on the hole, but they're definitely in your way. You love to be left anywhere long of the pin if you can get there, or left of the pin. Those are going to give you your better angles for sure. And there's Drew long, so he'll have a pretty open look coming back at it.
And this is honestly one of the tougher tee pads on the property. It's super slick. That left foot can just leave you because you're going from granite to sidewalk to whatever the front of that tee pad is called. Very small place with grip. Yeah.
And Uli looks off with the putt. Here's McBeth trying to get to 16 under.
Right in the heart.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if he maintains anything that looks like how he's been doing today, he's going to be unstoppable. Granted, not the most challenging course out there on the tour, but and again, Drew Gibson made Las Vegas look pretty easy for 3 of the rounds out there.
Yeah, I mean, Drew's going to be in contention all year, it seems.
Yeah, and I think back to a conversation I had with him mid-tournament during round 3 at Las Vegas. Oh, Cale. Not quite enough. He said to Calvin, he said, yeah, well, when you have a bad weekend, you finish 5th. When I have a bad weekend, I finish 90th. So he certainly knows that consistency is something that he can work on and improve. But, wow, what a great start as we're through 17 holes. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, put all that stuff in. Do the YouTube comment things, and we'll have some Double G jerky to give away. Here's McBeth.
He's going forehand, Terry? Oh, he's hit it great. He's hit it great.
Oh, it's got to sit down.
Oh, he's essentially parked.
Nice. Paul McBeth. What a killer round going.
This is incredible.
Just trying to close it out. Was this a mid by Gibson?
This is an eagle, Terry. So I believe this is the same disc that he threw at hole 1 at the end of a course during the playoff with Gannon.
That one just barely falls into the water. Here's Cale.
And this is another new disc from Prodigy. This is the FX3. A little bit flippier than the FX2. Same mistake.
And Uli with a few struggles in the last couple of holes. Let's see if he can finish strong. He sits at 8. And to think he's doubled up right now by McBeth. That's just crazy.
And this pin really hasn't moved since Germ made that putt and then Paul followed it up.
Answered it. Yeah. It's... And the fireworks continue. I was going to say hole 18. Nico aced this once to push himself into a playoff with Paul Ulibarri. This was the final hole of the tournament a few years ago. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nico had to ace it to force a playoff. Spoiler, Uli still took it down. But here's Paul McBeth. This is to go 17 under on the opening round at the 2022 Memorial. Oh, and was that just the pressure you spoke of?
I can't believe it. It must have been. Look at he's got the biggest smile. He's just laughing at himself.
When's the last time you missed a putt that short?
I don't know. Hole 7? It was a little longer, but Terry, he shot 16 under with 2 inside the circle misses.
Unbelievable. Incredible round. Nate, thank you for joining. And if we can keep pushing out videos quick enough, we hope to have you back.
Yeah, I hope to be back, Terry. What a treat this was to watch. I mean, he smoked this card.
If you don't want to see the numbers, shut it off now. And there you go. Paul McBeth, the 16 under. The next best coming in around a dozen. We're looking forward to seeing the chase card and lead card action for round number 2. Stay right here with the Disc Golf Guide. Nate, we'll see you tomorrow.